Busia for me did equanaba boating, a higher equanaba television, and when you go away. And Komokakra a woho, I mean trending issues are a coso or my ganem, a fat politics and home, a be a societal matter, be a try, a museum religious matters, I a coswo. And only at last you have pensing when you are general who bet me to comment and swell go as a one me I can kind. Share program no snake quetry. I could there be Acquah could di a year to go memu, our Ghana need this year. Ye be boy with a mahe Acquah. Now, free, I has a bit many and a bush and four. I'm a mark of an emission could be a dinner quay be, I don't know. Or see a yo papa bin a dinner copy ho. And as I say, a near to turn, oh, who baby our nam, and no move with questions. Ye be boy with me, I heard your ma a coso and so also. Sounds na baby toja as a coronavirus case, no. A cost power my ganim. Am I president and I don't go for the baby casa. Out or the measures a good crema and yasem ketwa. Nurses been so about Bontia Becassa Chirichi Muchim to coronavirus no hun semono, and ya bruchre for a day ba a Taigana hopa a yasem ketwa. Way a be any de canhone become wasem, and also by Jim and no help program was share program to me a quetry. A do timer, ye friend, as will be a commenter tuma, will pursue so the atom. Ubet me a subscribe to my channels in case any no face in so I help program now. Your basis here. This program is sponsored by Aduabo. Aduabo feed you what my ganem. Se ope se obi ana adwumakuo bi ebebo odan so edema wo oman Ghana mu a frɛ omo number ye wo screen is we na onu omo eni nkomo be biara wodan wo oman Ghana mu bia no omo ankasa betu omo ka e de omo mfidie aba ho abeye se adwumakuo no e de ama omo say omo ma 25 years of warranty a enya asem ketwa so omo no di adwuma bia na sentiase anya adwuma wo ho kwan se wo frɛ omo na omo sai ba ebe fixe adekoro esa e de ma Aduabo the nationwide builder. Sanso ene ye vigdank for see enka nkyere mo se omo wonkran manmu omo nso adwumadi omo die ni se omo hwe kidney ene liver problems se wo kidney na liver problem a frɛ omo number na e wo screen sui na onu omo ni nsawoso udu nkran manmu na unhu omo a omo was printers omo akasa e de ka ba be fawo se unhu kokoro omo aba be fawo de wakoko akosa oyade liver ene kidney problems na omo ye special e omo sa e ho yade a enya asem ketwa frɛ eye vigdank for na omo nsa oyade biara ewo a free enra news be circulate say ye papa Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong akodi a police for nsensem mu omo kire say speaker of parliament ye nkokyene ne ade woni Maame hawa say Honorable akoka say obehye NDC for omo flag bearer apartment and asene dan John Dramani Mahama obetwa ato ne dan mu say wanja market a wo hyehye a eni ade a eti news circulate say ye papa ya che no ana say yesi ye nkwochi papa sa na nkofo ka no enye sa na asem ne tie the asem ne tie ankasa enie opanyini bi ana abo sa kratai e de akoma speaker of parliament opanyini din de Mr. Kwesi Dawood wo kire say Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong kekan wo na 2 say marketer hyehye no owura Mahama ena sa adwumadie no enti say wenjaya obekwa akwhye na hye dan de aka ho enti sanu ma we oye enti no speaker of parliament mi enkwachi papa yi emfa no nkotum sounds na ye hawa nso etimi den abato no cost no koye allegation kakra bu ompeso so bi yemfa no nso emfa nkonkotum we any letter ni mu asem na mum enye say speaker of parliament ana abo letter na se BBC emfa nkwachi papa ne fa nkotum na mum opanyini bi efe no Kwesi Dawood na abo petition letter yi de ama speaker of parliament say sa MP for mienu yemfo mum nko shem because say edu time aye to aba no omu mienu aniamo ho bi kasa twetwe bi ni nkensem bi enti yemfo mum fa nko shem sa eni nsem a wo krata we mu na mum enye purposely say yenkwachi owura Kennedy Ohene Agyapong entum free speaker of parliament ho enye sa na asem ne tie obi a oyetime mani ene hu ni say asem papa ne kan no wan kan yi one hawa emra abato ne koso no mo ye enuma bi a amfa mra kwan so enti wabo petition krata de akwa speaker of parliament say onhwe na sa nkofo ne nkonkohyem because of omano kasa omkan nti enkomo no saa na etie okay na we every ho no ewuo bi atisi anase ewuo bi ekokoso ano odin so atase ewuo bi kokoso ano odin na before media no beba no owuo ni de beba no one bishop bi de message bi abase yemfama owura Kennedy Ohene Agyapong kire se bulldog kire ne ye che no ensema bulldog kan ye no Honorable Kennedy waka de esne saa adenti no ono de oda so nam ho na yachi bulldog edi na hyem yenti de papa ye kan obetimi do comment agu ase ho ama yakenkan
referring even to the elections, not necessarily, but what has been going on before. What has been going on? May I give you an example? A very powerful, so-called powerful politician insults justice of the Supreme Court. Where is he now? What is happening to him? I don't want to mention his name. You know him. And what is happening? What they are calling him what name they are? Is it a musician or what he is? Bulldog. Then they go and push him into what? Into custody. What? Who is above the law in Ghana? For God's sake. Look at what has happened in America. If we don't know it, they have shown us the way. Trump sat somewhere and he could urge people on to do what he liked, as if America was his. What is happening now? Now he has been impeached. I watched it. 232 votes against 197. And though he may not be in office at the
okay, enti utie Bishop asema wo kan why she na na so otimu se obusa se papa Honorable Kennedy ohene Agyapong se why she because say no ensema wo kan na no wo hye wo se nko no so kwa ne famra kwa so nti say why she now questions are obusa obetimi do comment ago ama yakenkan na ewu bi aba betodwa kire se coronavirus no na ekum Kwasi Pratt ne brother ne junior brother nti Kwasi Pratt junior ewo bi asi anya asem ketwa enkaibo a ebeto odwa kire se coronavirus no na ekunu na so timi se coronavirus no ade bi a ano ayedin wo man Ghana se the president dia beto dwa mebo amomati measures a president dia to na ano ayehyepa mo amunim a mo wo man Ghana mu mechichi mu akire mu ebia na brofo no mu odu anase nsem o kan no amanfo fa na tra betu di agro na measures a president dia to dwa na chiwa waso be hye rof se Kwasi Pratt ni brother ena eja watia nananom nsedo wato omo nsedo because of corona yi ekunu e de afiri ho news a eda ho enso eno no Kwasi Pratt junior nyankopon aja nyankopon atun sa afre no yase ade nyinam yemfa na ase ma nti se the coronavirus no anu ayeden ena mu nso ayehu pa sounds na yo panyini bi ono nso ewo security coordinator oye national security coordinator ono nso watoa nananom ewo Nsiedo opanyina meka na seme opanyini Joshua Kyereme a oye national security coordinator ono nso watoa nananom ewo Nsiedo we nso awrehosema no nso wasi ewo my Ghana se de minim de ekoso de be se de ekoso na meka a kyerɛ ono owura Joshua Kyereme a no oye national security coordinator no ono nso watoa nananom wo Nsiedo na ensem a ewo mu no de empanyfo se wani kwase e ka kire se na wose obi ahwe na brabo ye 2021 we bibia timisi at any time so atase bibia betimasi time bia ihe so be careful na ga east fo anese fo de aba betudwa se coronavirus aye ka ho asem no enkofo ye o madwene se ebia abrochirefo na edi corona ni efiri abrochire eba Ghana no omo si ente saa cases omo record ewo omo hospital ho ewo ye ga east ho no ni nyina ye Ghana fo ade hye wo my Ghana m na saa case ni nyina afiri omo nchen den eba which means say corona no ewo Ghana ho na emum kofo na afa ne say enchi ni patuntum na enchi de na cases are recording nyina nso youth ana case no acheche wo mo ye papa na dankwa Akufo-Addo eka address no or address nation about corona no kan saa asem no say corona no omo achichi omo my Ghana mu no youth enye enkokora ne merewa ne biem youth na echi omo na yade foforo bi abankofo ni nyanko ho a start free Nigeria ebobo ba minim say dru Ghana de a eno kwa de esi ekum crash ni corona no ebusiafo wei na dankwa Akufo-Addo president okasa wi o se wankasa bo ho ban wankasa follow measures no fa no ma hyehyɛ ohwene o made videos no ebeto so amu hu de na dankwa Akufo-Addo kaye na Ghana fo amomani adagwesi na dankwa Akufo-Addo ni abre yanka na eja yeboa na eba abonten no saa letter ye daswe no so opese onya bia metimi asende e de amount but page number 9 ene nkomo ni nyina wo ho page number 9 ne nkomo ni nyina wo na danko akofo ade se mama so nte se de bia bus wa close no ene wa close ye friend saying eye public places ni nyina wa close no beaches nyina wa close no club nyina wa close no ana afenso wasi dwomfo man ne ade no omo kwa asore no especially asore kofo ni nyina wo page number 9 mame he page number 9 no wo he okay page number 9 ni yeah okay nti na danko akofo ale se mama so nti se de dia police for ebegu krum page number 9 ni o dia police for ba begu krum ama police for no a check omo a omo nimra no so no se yen kai mo se emra wo Ghana ebetima di wa when did the war kan so nti so obekwa asore dem na me praise the Lord mamma ni na ho antum so for sa atema pa ya kan edi crochet na ye kan ho asem be aha na be start e free mamma ni na ho hand sanitizer anya adwuma osofo ni corona aduro osofo bia na obetima sa corona wo Ghana ho omunyina omu ho hwe nti so amu ani na ho na ye ho say because of me kwa sorry praise the Lord hallelujah na okogina ho na baby nche ohwene a ugina ho na police fo aba abachi mu nyina de makwa akogum emra aba no wuni ma me ka akyerew nti ukọ asọra kache osofo so omo nani na ho na obo mpa ya ha omusi biebi omanum no oma ntiti ntasu angu nkofo so ama omu corona sese ekosoro case ne yeden ekosoro ana youth no na ewu enye mpanyimfo na ewu biem youth ana omu wu etimo mo ni na ho na munye de mo ankasa ho ban na dan kwa akufare se nkanchem sese de wa me aya police fo ne asojafo na mkurum from enra no okasa aye no wagya omu ewu kurum so omu nko no omu nko check sanko ofuko ya ye kom asemi club ya tum bia ba ya tum beaches ya tum public areas sanko fo hyehyia ni nyina ya twam obi antimi nye biem wosese mo aso ye den na muda so aya enye hwanwa se eye Sunday edi animu obema lockdown ama Ghana nyina asa ye lockdown se mo ani sa amra we so a na se wa ebe che so de ene mra wo Ghana ene obedi we ene asema na danko akofado ye papa edi betu dwa enra mra na oma national address efa aye corona eho ensensem ho no.
On 7th January, as I said, I swore to, and I quote, dedicate myself to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana and to do right to all manner of persons, unquote. It is my duty to protect lives and livelihoods. In furtherance of this, I've instructed the Inspector General of Police to direct officers, men and women of the police service to ensure the rigorous enforcement of the law on mask wearing at all public places and in public transport. They are also to ensure the closure of all nightclubs, pubs, cinemas and beaches that may be operating in defiance of the law. They will be assisted by the other security agencies if need be. Persons in marketplaces, workplaces, and operators of public transport must conduct their activities in accordance with the hygiene and safety protocols. The wearing of masks in these places is mandatory. Regulatory agencies will undertake random checks to ensure conformity with COVID-19 rules. Should any facility or institution fail to comply with these directives, its activities will be immediately prohibited and appropriate sanctions applied. It is important that I remind all Ghanaians that severe punishments exist on our statute books for persons breaking the law on the mandatory wearing of masks. Should anyone be arrested by the security agencies disregarding this directive, that person will be dealt with strictly in accordance with law. We do not want to go back to the days of partial lockdowns, which had a negative impact on our economy and on our way of life. But should that become necessary, that is, should the number of active cases continue to increase at the current rate, I will have no option but to reimpose these restrictions because it is better to be safe than to be sorry. So together, let us all ensure that we respect the protocols. Government is intensifying its strategy of enhanced 3 Ts, i.e. tracing, testing, and treating to allow us to identify infected persons, isolate them, and treat them. A considerable number of contact tracers are being mobilized to follow up on contacts of all who test positive. All laboratories, public and private, must supply in real time data on all persons tested on the common platform established by the Ghana Health Service. There will be sanctions against laboratories who fail to comply. We've also provided additional logistics, including vehicles, to the Ghana Health Service for the supervision and monitoring of asymptomatic cases being managed from home. Additionally, government is reactivating available treatment and isolation facilities across the country in anticipation of any further increase in infections. The provision of adequate medicines, equipment, and personal protective equipment to enable health workers attend to home-based patients is being effected. Fellow Ghanaians, as our children in kindergarten, primary, junior high school, SHS2 and SHS3 resume school from tomorrow, I wish to reiterate that government has taken the required steps to ensure their safety in school. Heads of institutions, as well as their teachers, have undergone the requisite orientation on guidelines for school reopening during COVID-19 to enable them assist with compliance of students with the protocols. I've been encouraged by the preparations being made by many schools, in some cases with the support of their old Students Association and PTAs, in anticipation of the return on Monday. On our part, government has also undertaken the fumigation and disinfection of schools and the provision of sanitizers, masks, liquid soaps, Veronica buckets, rolls of tissue paper, face shields for learners and staff with hearing impairments, and gloves for caregivers and attendants to schools across the country. All senior high schools have been mapped to medical facilities across the country so that any outbreak of the disease in any such school can be duly contained. Suspected cases in primary and junior high schools will be managed by district health teams through the school health program and the COVID-19 rapid response teams. The world is facing a learning crisis, a crisis that is further worsening inequalities in access to education, with children from poorer homes and communities being worst hit. This learning crisis has serious implications for the future of our country. This is especially worrying for me because I have placed education at the center of the social and economic progress and prosperity of Ghana and of her political stability. That is why, in our attempt to mitigate the impact of the pandemic, the Cab Bus Initiative, being administered by the National Board for Small-Scale Industries, has started disbursements to applicants from private educational institutions, many of whom have been hard hit by the pandemic. More disbursements to these institutions are being processed. And I wish to speak directly to the students and children returning to school, and those of you who have already returned. I know that for most of you, 2020 was a very unfamiliar year and presented a setback for your preparation for the future. You all saw the struggle your parents, especially working parents, went through with you at home due to school closures. You also know how you struggled to learn from home, even for those of you who were lucky enough to continue with some of your classes online. The frustrations, the idleness, the absence of classroom, or study group intimacy, it has all been extremely difficult for you, your parents, teachers, and everybody involved. This is something we should all try to put behind us. Much of that depends on you. As we take these big steps to go back to school, your attitude, your behavior, your self-discipline will decide whether or not our schools will remain open. I'm pleading with you. Please observe the COVID-19 protocols at all times. You must maintain the level of discipline and sense of responsibility to stop the virus from spreading in your schools and for those students at home as well. Wear your masks at all times. Wash and sanitize your hands regularly. Protect yourself. Protect each other. Protect your teachers. Protect your parents. But please, do not give me a reason to close down schools again. I pledge to do my best to keep your education going. I want you to assure me, your parents, your teachers, and society as a whole, through your actions, that you will do your part as well. Fellow Ghanaians, I urge all of us to continue to live responsibly with the virus, even as we work towards accessing the vaccine. Details of the access and rollout plan will be announced very soon. Let us work constantly on how to do our work, keep our businesses and places of worship open, and send our children to school, all in safety. Government, for its part, is resolved and determined to help ensure that we're able to return to our normal daily routines. That is going to work, going to school, going to shop, going to the market, going to a funeral, going to the pub, going to the club, going to the cinema, going to the beach, going to the stadium, or going to worship. We can achieve this result if we cooperate and work together. It is essential that we protect ourselves, our families, and our loved ones from the virus. It is a collective responsibility. If we embrace the safety protocols, that is the enhanced hygiene and mask-wearing protocols, and we continue to put our faith in Almighty God, we will see the light at the end of this tunnel. 0 active cases. That is the goal. We can and must reach it.
Okay, iti president akasa what in your ma ono akasa kan se enomebu wa close no for now. Na omo anhwe omo hu ye antoto omo namu ye a anhwe na lockdown wasa baso. Ni nyina ne se Ghana fo na na wasa muhwe mu ye case die. Papa na kasa wi do betimi aya no wo ye no wase mo anhwe mu hu ye dia obesan ayeden aklusi enioma down. News twas wa me de ebremu efri eye oman Ghana mu hwa. Sister bia yeso wo twa ahwe a wawu. Minka so wo twa ahwe ko gina stage so na de ema bi frɛ ne twerk no. Ogina stage so a all twerk na so obuni mu ye frɛ no ama broni. Ama broni dwumadi a wodie ene se frɛ ne naked twerker na so ono do obegina stage so na bi obi bɔnwom a na wa woro no ho na wa twerk a wo so no to e de ama na wagye fans na wokɔ. Wei ena ama broni ekogina stage so a obetwerk ne to edi agye fans a ogye ane se wogye ohu ya ne se boys a omo so ohu to na wo twerk no ebuafu omo huri asi eye stage ne so omo huri si so a omo ni ama eba abeda wei ena ama broni ese wonte ase ena ama broni ye den ehuri free stage ne so besi fom a se ne kon na wo ho se ne hefa ne si ho ama eda ya wansore ama awu amunum ho na no seconds kura anto ama wawu efri atiasefo asase so we ni news abeto ho se maame efre no eye ama broni a onu de o ya ne se oro no ho na ogina stages na otwerk ne to ema nkofo ma ne fans ama broni wona da so no wo hwe eye won sandi fa ho na ama na awro ne to ho a otwerk wo ho no ne se onu de dwumadi a wodi ano watwerk a de akọ owuom according to news a ebaye no se sister ama broni atwerk a de ato anananom wo Asiedu ogina stage so a otwerk ana boys na omuwo eye area ho na omuhu ama wo twerk no ehu se no sister ne twerk na oye no ano ohye ena omu se ne sanete de a omu nyina ba full stage ho na omakɔboa na matwork na akɔso ye ama hwe the way a crowd ne ba boys ne hiti omode ba na ombese omne ne beda e wo stage ne so because wa woro ne to ho and world work na se wo so ohuri na we ana fofie antoata ama e de atoa nananom e wo Asiedu we ene asem a asi e wo ye yaye krom oman Ghana mu na eye enkura ye egu screen su enso ye enkura bi o mayera yira o mayera ne so makopie e wo Togo man mu ekuro bi a ye se ye frɛ ekuro no eye Mission Mission Tove na Mission Tove ho na enkura na kwa akopie no enkura mienu ba ko panyini no wo mu ne din de Jeff Ajeku na eye akura na ketwa na obisu de Kevin Boatin we de Miami name na enkura ne kyerɛ sɛ eye opanyini bi na de omukopie saa ekuro no so na omukopie saa ekuro no so na me sɛ minim de enkode omukoye de ba se no panyin na nkasa de yehu no ana nkura no ani ato omo ntanta na omo nam ani akopie omo so na kasa omo kan chi we news aba betodwa no before amebo sa video we no me kai se kwabena tewia ba bontin mere bi be kan se se ya to aba na wie ni e be chiche nkwara e de omo kokoye sacrifice me nim se no na start dia enti de kwabena tewia e kan e woni interview ni
wamo a nkrofo bi wo kuremu a omo gigi tumi e free da home nkron ne so free say lockdown ba ye no wo muntumi nkonkoda ase enti wo ma ye wo ma dwene se aban pies ko on be kire nkwara be kire skufo na ebeji nsem nkwara ebeyira na ebeji nsem nti aban ni fa ni nansi fam no hunu kwan a wo fa so abom ofra no ho ban enkrofo no pa wo ma bono no be kire nkwara kunkum wom e de ho aye rituals adase na me ma ade we ensi breko amiti kurem breko ye nyame nkrofo adan wo wayere ni mari bi kuku hom na fa koda ase adan na wo be kire nkrofo ma nti abai ni security agency no wo menye very careful pa ho na masam ka sie gina ene ni feeding program no ho na o ma planning e de ama papa no so oni begu na anim ase wo de amobate sankwara ne sase agira ni feeding program wo di no mu hu a o ase na nado na akɔgi tumi e de yesa enya wono a mi ti kura ma meti ase ma ka no kura kosi da mewu e ye nipa bi na abosa apa no won ba kire nkwara ma ba tan su e besu e wo kuro ha no yentimi nkan nti aye masem hin akese ye bia ma na ni na aban ne nko nso ntumi nye security agency nko ntumi nye obata bia mo ne ba ho ban ekwan a ye fa so protect yama no ye hwɛ na epa o mabo de atia ye daache ene nkwara no atia aban no atia school atia awofo etia wo bia nti obi anyina ye enti na mafrɛ mo
okay nti utie de eye owura kwabena tewia ka neso wo kyerɛ sɛ onimasofo bi anase nkofo bi omo eye de ende odomiu sɛ de ende ombeso omo ye sacrifice ene ono de wo so won kana no ntum emma nkofo ko no emfa nkofo ma enkoye sacrifice e wo abra nkofo no e wo mma menim sɛ bi na ato mrante ye omgu screen so dia yentie nkomo a eye ekuro no Togo ho no baby omo wo no omo ne omo twetwe ye hwese betime omo awofo a very important say wo be share program we na timi akwa akire ebia na nabusuafo ehunu omo de hye na wo da screen so yi na ehu kwan ye de be fa so omo nsa aka omo de hye
ya ba bo so me na ya kwa mama wa awa kra na papa se ya mbla na mbe janwa ha na ni sister ba ko anti nto ya ni sister ni ya ba ko nukuru na bo so me na ya ko mama wa
o mama na ko ya ibini o so bi ko ba
o fla
bon avec no blaze de mama de ah bu amba de you over cry over you know cry the over you know by you the am bien bedi would be on the top bagbato ya oh
tu sa be
bon you know cry the voix c'est que on a
si vous ça
mo ma me no he
o wa kra
wo no an proka ni bi
da bi so ro ko na wate
What's Accra? And now all the music and one for Carnival.
That we men and nanny free Puma near your back.
Puma Gnos with the world area of Garden, kind of a couple of them you back a crab. That's good. I sent it to you.
Go in and on, go in and on.
Who are the same?
Yausia.
Yausia.
I thought
Central region.
I thought
to the same.
Baba or the
Charles Debe. Charles Coffee. One another did the same. Talk you won't go. One another did the same.
Me have a funny Auntie Kenty.
Again?
Auntie Kenty.
Auntie Kenty. Oh, papa. What's her name?
Inta sukun koko yana da sukun.
Comment on appelle leur école?
Uko school. Your friend was school.
The friend
Agyapong. There's one another DJ Agyapong.
Et ici là, quand on appelle ils vont pas à l'école. Ils sont chez qui ici? Ils sont chez qui ici?
Ok. Ampuma, fique voix du roux, fique voix du roux. Can we see more here? Can we see more here?
I see a police station.
Police station, Accra, I say.
Accra police station.
Tezano. Achumata.
On les a déposés là-bas à la police aussi à Accra. Bon, et après, et you dans la police aller, un gars qui va le dossier.
Et si mon police station, et then I'm going to have to. You go fear who found. You take that phone in
your father, no man on about what you are. Akelana or Musay Ambrana. Yambrana, Yambadiscan, Yambrania for being blown, when Fan Cross.
Carbon, a demo bar, crew. Bass or hipper.
Bass and no old Germana of a bar, there's all called Dunka.
Dunka, much about the central Jimakala, I will also do very. You took about the fear all my own. You can know mobile, that's any. Musumi,
bon, c'est possible.
Ils sont chez qui ici? C'est ça le problème.
Hana di muba. Why na di muba police station? Baba wa hi.
O sanko Accra.
Ajira wonu wa.
O de ma mena na ba ko wa we.
O wa ha. Ko me di ko se wodi no baba ha. Me di ko na no wodi o baba ha.
Dabi.
We dey no baba ha.
Alors, on va clover là, on va faire clover.
Mais elle
on va bien pour le
c'est qui?
Tu veux quartier la paix.
Ok, nti mpanyinfo mu tie eye video no mu asema na ese nkura na nkasa no omo ankasa ma confuse. O Accra, ne papa na de ne ba Accra no fa no free Accra no de ne ba Togo na. Se otim se enoma mebre koso. Menim de ode ne call Togo ho ane de onko de ne koye de. Betu tie omum ko munim so mo Togo, omunim so omo da so won kran. Betu tie kasa ni mu na ese yera no man yera no obi dina kopi ho. Mama ni nkomu ma no hono ise ngofo ani abre. Said the Odifour kwabna tewi aka no. Te yampa de ane so mo ye sacrifice no. Ehwe nkofo ma ade hye na achechi wo mo. Ebi ana wani gusu a wo hui. Ti share video na nkwa akire bia na busuafo ehun kura mienu omugusu yi a opanyina owo mu yesi ne din ankasa ede Jeff Agyeku ana ye de ketwa no omu so de Kevin Boating de be ye betime hu omunkofo na yakwakofo omu afri eye Togo meme kuro omu so yesi efre ho ekuro no ede mission to ve na se eho ena omakwa akodi sisi omu chese abrantie bia na papa bi ena de omu ba ho a omu ba beka ho esi omu hu omachi ena questions a ekoso ewo nyese omu kwahia obi otwi wotetwi kasa nenka asem kase pan na Gaisie no minim adekunte ni pande omu ko ho de ba we any news a ewo ho kwa kase ababonten edi nsem bia ba betudwa kire mu se asofo bi atwene edi emere bi atwam na asofo bi a obobo mu anyasem kase asofo ni bi criminal asa ankasa yentie nsem akwa kase edi betudwa
enwuma obo bia ye wi ase njom wo feeling no
me ko chapel
me ko chapel wo makumem
but si chapel dem
me ko chapel dem ache
but makumem
okay a couple of years
20
into 20 enche bia me kwa so mu osofo bi di atro kire me so prophesy wrong prophecy
that be na ko chapel
or that be like me fancy 2016 or 2017 or
and the
last time me kai say me kwa so
chapel wa asem si
osofo ne to nkra bebre say hia me na we nya nyi kire bi na ade me mpese me komi ya me ngi sade ni ndi ko me makume mu no eni Nyankopon die bi ehia what I say
okay
but nkofo ana che so so awon no so me try so me kwa kotie OSOFO paint me kwa kotie no
okay
me kwa no start shenkom o so ohun ade no say mebusuafo a wo finya akrom wo be say wo kumi la 2017 November no me nwa be si a stay me nwi you so OSOFO no di atro. Secondly, me busia ni bia so mfi aguna anya akrom nti o kan no asoro won kwa me challenge nkakra but na say e be too much nti
challenge
o me ka che ni say me busia ni bia mfi aguna anya akrom
na congregation wo ho
oh yeah
in front of the congregation
me ka che say mi ni busia ni bia wo nya akrom no o si o mi nko bisa me maame mo bia na me nim
awo re ka wa so ro se kekepe bi
bisa nti na ya ye na mi twa so na me ko bisa me maame na o si me busia ni bia mfi aguna anya akrom. From there no you so chale in sorry boys bojisu girls bojisu most of them only are wodi attract nkofo no so it's better say me ya sorry wo makumemu na me fiefo no ya so nyame wo fie dan say me kwa kwatra so bi you chop money am OSOFO na no dey akoto
range rover friend chop money
oh yeah and say na wodi to Range Rovers na ade no
asofo bi no
wodi asofo bi mo wodi sidan akese wodi fan nkofo girls Abagana there come asofo na wodi atro no sofo betumi di atro no the ofo bi ne get there normal
asofo do bi no mu wodi atro
no
was also far
wrong prophecies bebre no sofo ya na say ohun say kuro na wo North America a country bi wo North America Morocco
ono also a slip of tongue
oh wow massa sana Ghana yeti obi odi ko ebi
na no for me
oh massa Morocco.
Engineering.
Myself one core class 2.
Engineering.
One core class 2. Morocco, the answer Hoahi, North Africa. What I say. So it's bebre. Be more aye be bebre. Obisi Trump mini. Obisi say. Nini ebechemko. Nini happen. So uncle Funini ano say they are not good example for people. They don't inspire people to go to church. Ankom no share no share me pan say ana we nkom bi sa akra na say ye say oboso mpa so ade we de Nyankopon twetwa fi abofra na akwan mu but we be frame me bigina so dey ma say dey trade we ni ma say I say Charlie it's better say nyame no anka say mesum ni direct than to go to church bi na you know because asem no kan na ya atro one mebusu ani bi emfi aguna anya akrom from my family me bisa mebusu afuni a obi aze we busu ani bie ni wa ofi aguna nya akrom e busu bie influence e no ya atro baako
na second one
was May 2017 still me na meti hey most of them asofo na aba ni bebre wo yefun nyame adwuma obe pescal beto Range Rover pescal or osofo ni person feel like celebrity what I say
anti onyi do osofo ye celebrity
oh no osofo ye nyame adwuma masa ja wi ase de ne ma wi ase na ye nyame adwuma aso na kwahwe say one wogu na won complain no. Most of these new churches they are haram, scam. Most of these new churches.
Yes, scam.
Oh, of course. Oh, media mama got scam. I did away prophecy one woman. Shower prophecy. My house of Grammy Jamila was one with them dorsal. I solely have a baby scam. Also for all prophecy. There are 3 prophecies. Obibewu. Party be power. Oh, we no be oh, master I say we be and yet the same prophecy. Oh, some 5 musicians have taken Shatawale's voice to Benin. Stupidity. In stupidity. We come head in call for a war break. One will be nyambre Edwo voice. And yes, a wunipa no. What the voice I could Benin. Say one say voice. For what?
I wish you for NT air quackers in some more able to jar la. Asamo. Quackers chess so for Ghana. I know who do boom be as our phone. One was some on the old canon. Now, Kakram did chat for every mammy fast so a neighbor. A brand to be comma mefina and send me course ho, who been in a year and term questions being in semi course. Mona moya ma and ma more platform mammy answer. So what the hona bemme be and no barbe da, me patrol bet me one ubeti mdo comment egu ase wa me aken kan
yey asem no dia ma akoma asem na edin nyina ne se me akasa me oho sisi an me yere no me kiri man enson ene nada nti me ko ba bi no me pese me ne betena fie bi nti me ka kire mu se wo kiri banso me hwe secondary school wo how many years me 44 years no wo kiri banso no wo say we SS after we school last year me tobo eti e wo mo wani wada mi patuma mi chirichira me na bisia wani wada ye mrenti wani wada mi patuma ni wo ye na wani wada e na mi chirichira bisia asem wa ka kire ye de kwan afra so no wada na mi kunu mi na wo sankole na wo baaye eti wo baaye no ye ni mu nya ne da eti mi ti mani ma na ni mi abema no e hye me to ena wa me bo pete mi se hey junior wo sha to say ni bema e hye me to na wo da wo sha tare me pa so se mi sha tare na why dey ko ra ho ti ni mu nya ne dada ba na oni unnim wo papa wo kru size na unnim ayi nkoda ne dia size ma se na mada enti oni mi church ma me na bisia eni akonfo ba be wie wa kwa wo hu eti bi ti me ni se hey junior agebe no wa ye ena mi sore ye eti mi sore ye mi sha ta na about 28 eni be jina bo nse sa ta mi kunya fe duma mai eti bi kun ba mi se brado won age mu nya ndi ayam be ka show se na enti ofawo ana so ode sha hogage me ti me na sha me to e sha to awa fawo se wa run da bi o kan kra na yehu tobo me ka assembly ba ma ya de mre na ya de woni sa assembly na ho watch what for edison
Abushia for way wasem Mr. Obetimi the comment go awarefo amohwe me mesremu a oba oda na obi de hye oto na mpacho etisen na ba ne sen na mami wanhui etimisi sa na questions me brese na besa mete ho answer ho answer Obetimi the comment go ase ona asebwe kura dem yam hyeme hye oto abra wada